Well, why do we have to colonize the solar system? Hey Polly, why? Yes, politics.
It's one small step for man.
Which is the best ideology? Who has the best values? Who has the biggest rockets? Going to space allows states to justify their power status, to legitimize themselves to their people and to others through extraordinary accomplishments. American capitalism, Soviet or Chinese communism. The best ideology is the one that allows you to be the best. The first satellite in space, the first man on the moon during the Cold War, or the first wheel of cheese in orbit. Because to reach space, you need money. A lot of money. Without significant direct economic benefits, it's not interesting for companies or individuals to invest so much. Only countries and superpowers have the necessary resources and can afford to spend so much money to make no money at all, just to prove to everyone that they are even better than their neighbors. A political move for little children, or hopefully, a common goal, a kind of positive competition of all nations. Polly, do you have another reason? Absolutely not. Another reason will be the knowledge of the world, of our history, of our future. Sending probes to space and to other planets has allowed us to learn so much about our origins, or simply to advance on fundamental research. However, probes and robots we send today are very limited. No, not dumb, Polly, but... well, actually no, robots are kind of dumb. Researchers, scientists and astronauts want to send humans into space to go further, to find answers and ask new questions. Colonizing space means having the means to push back the limits of knowledge, much more than by staying on Earth. And the impacts of knowledge is changing our daily lives. Look at all these technologies, Polly. Accelerometers for airbags, insulin pumps for diabetes, Teflon on stoves, survival blankets, photosensors, memory foam mattress, and we can also talk about satellites. Thanks to them, we have access to GPS, phone in remote areas, weather forecast, monitoring of forest fire or illegal fishing, monitoring of the earth to simply support farms. All these technologies have changed our daily lives, and colonizing the solar system would take us even further. To build a city on the moon, for example, it is impossible to bring materials from Earth. Yes, Polly, it's possible, but it's completely stupid. The cost of shipping is way too expensive. You would have to produce on site, in autonomy, with very little energy. As an example for the production of metal and aluminium, we need to develop new extraction and electrolysis processes that consume little energy. Finding answers to these challenges will help us on Earth to produce more responsibly. So will the design of new materials in microgravity, such as extremely pure optical fibers. Whether it is to probe, mine, transform or produce, it's a new industry that will emerge with colonization. Well, Polly, all of that is very great, but it will take decades before it works. So, why invest now in the colonization of space? We're getting there step by steps. Colonizing the solar system will create a new economy and satisfy our goals of unlimited growth. Depending on your values, this is of course agreeable, but our growing needs for resources and energy will sooner or later push us to leave our blue marble. And this growth translates into the commercialization of space. It has already started with the commercial satellites dedicated to communication and is now growing strongly with a new space. If we put aside space tourism, which allows a few billionaires to get into the air, the economics interests are gigantic. Mining metals on asteroids and extracting methane or hydrogen from the moon of Jupiter and Saturn. The creation of colonies would create new needs, We are no longer talking about terrestrial economies, but about economies between planets and moons. Planetary transport companies, space solar power plants, orbital depot, mines, and extraterrestrial factories. A real science fiction novel. But then again, it's not just all about the money, is it, Polly? If Elon Musk wants to go to Mars, it's also for the salvation of humanity? By colonizing space, we're doing kind of a backup of the Earth, learning to survive in hostile environments by living in giant tin cans. Let's hope that this also allows us to save our planet, which will always remain more beautiful and habitable than a Martian landscape. What's the matter, Polly? You are not convinced? Then let your imagination run wild. Colonizing our solar system is about satisfying human curiosity, doing extraordinary achievements. We are only at the beginning of a great adventure, and who knows what our future holds. We are capable of achieving the impossible, Polly. We already done it. The first flight, the first human to break the sound barrier, the first in space and the first on the moon. We celebrate these successes as extraordinary moments, but we must not forget that we are still pioneers, that we barely began, that our greatest achievement cannot be behind us, that our destiny is in the stars. You know, Polly, no matter how many justifications we can come up with, colonizing space is not really something we should judge. It's a step, a difficult step, which will be made with many other small steps to achieve a giant leap. And it's up to us to make sure we walk straight. We will make mistakes, for sure, but that's also what growing up is all about. Well, leaving Earth and all is nice, but what will we find up there? With Polly, we will meet you in the next video to identify the resources we could find in the solar system. So, if you're interested into finding if there are rocks on the moon, I will see you soon on the channel.